When we are finding a confidence interval for estimating a population mean mu, where sigma is unknown, the population standard deviation is unknown, we are finding the probability that the population mean will fall between a set of values, between some lower and upper value. Since sigma is unknown, we will use the student t distribution. And there are two requirements for finding the confidence interval. First, the sample is a simple random sample. And two, either or both of these following conditions are satisfied. The population is normally distributed, or n is greater than 30. To find the confidence interval, you need to use this formula here, which is x bar minus e, which is the margin of error, is less than mu is less than x bar plus e, the margin of error. This is how you would get the confidence interval. Now, margin of error comes from this formula here, where it's t sub alpha over 2 times the sample standard deviation over the square root of n. This is how we would find the margin of error. Now, there's a definition you need to be aware of when it comes to a t-distribution, that is the degrees of freedom. And it just says for a collection of sample data is the number of sample values that can vary after certain restrictions have been imposed on all data values. The number of degrees of freedom is often abbreviated as df. The degrees of freedom is easy to figure out. All you do is subtract 1 from n, so the degrees of freedom is just equal to n minus 1. When you're finding the critical value t alpha over 2, which is up here in the margin of error, you typically have to use a t-distribution chart, as some calculators don't have the option for finding it. However, if you have a TI-84 calculator, you can use the inverse t option to get it. This is found under second and then vars.